Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we have some awesome new Atlantean Mermail support. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out these awesome new cards. So we finally are getting Atlantean Mermail support in Rage of the Abyss, and I am super excited to go over these cards with you guys, because we finally are getting water support. So let's go ahead and check out what these awesome new cards actually do. So for the first one, we have Mermail Shadow Bodyguards, and this card is always treated as an Atlantean card as well, bridging the two archetypes together, and I absolutely love the artwork of these guys. You don't want to mess with them. They're really cool though. So this card is Mermail Shadow Bodyguards, and it's a water sea serpent effect monster with 0 attack and 1900 defense points. Maybe you do want to mess with them because they do have 0 attack points. This card is always treated as an Atlantean card, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn each, and it has the ability that for the first effect you can discard this card to the grave, and the level of all water monsters that you currently control becomes 7 until the end of this turn, helping you go in for rank 7 plays, especially going in for your copy of Yugioh, which is really nice to be able to do. But I feel like this card is going to help out a lot to help you level manipulate your cards. So for the second effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect, you can actually special summon a level 4 or lower Atlantean or Mermail monster from the deck except another copy of this card. Also, you cannot special summon from the extract for the rest of the turn except water monsters, which is totally fine because that's usually what we're summoning in Atlantean Mermail anyways. But overall, fantastic card, helping you just instantly get a monster out on your side of the field with the effect of our monster, which is just really cool to special summon out that card to your side of the field. You're probably going to be summoning Neptibus, the Prince, to your side of the field off this card's effect, but it's really good to help you get it out on your side of the field. But overall, fantastic card right off the bat. So for the next one, we have an Atlantean Spirit, and this card is always treated as a Mermail, which is really nice because they're actually bridging the two archetypes together, which is actually really cool. I really like that. This card has a really awesome ability that you can tribute this card from your hand and an Atlantean or a Mermail monster from your hand or field to take a level 7 fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon from the extract for the rest of the turn except water monsters. That's actually a really good effect because there's a lot of really good targets that you can grab off of the fish, sea serpent, and aqua archetype, and that's really cool that they're kind of making this a tri-type between fish, sea serpent, and aqua. I really like that about this card. That's going to help you out a lot to be able to get the exact cards that you need. Also, during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you manage to discard from the graveyard, discard a card to the graveyard, and then draw a card, which is actually a really cool effect because you're discarding it for a water monster's effect, so you will make your cards go off, which is really nice, and I love that about this card. Overall, fantastic support card because it's going to help you get a monster out. It's kind of like tribute summoning, but without using your normal summon, because you are tributing this card and another monster from your hand or field, then take a level 7 fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster in the deck and either add to your hand or special summon it. But let's be honest, we're always special summoning it. But there's some really good targets you can actually get into with this card. You can even probably summon Coliantus, I believe, because I think that's a level 7, but that's really interesting about these cards, that you're instantly able to summon out a level 7 fish, sea serpent, or aqua. For the next card, we have Poseidra Abyss, the Atlantean Dragon Deity. This card looks amazing. I'm so excited for this one. This card is a water sea serpent Eggsy effect with 3000 attack and 1800 defense. It does require 3 level 7 monsters to make this card, but this card actually has an interesting effect to make it a little bit easier because once per turn you can also Eggsy summon this card using one Atlantean or Mermail Eggsy that you control, transferring its materials to this card. You don't even have to use a rank up magic, you just immediately overlay this card on top of your copy of Yugioh, which is really nice to be able to do, especially since your copy of Yugioh only takes 2 level 7, so you make Yugioh first, then you make this card on top of it. This card has the ability that, for its first effect, once per turn, you can detach 2 materials from this card, send a water monster from your hand or deck to the grave, then return up to 3 cards your opponent controls back to the hand. That triple bounce is just really good because it doesn't even target, bro. That doesn't even target. That's insane. You just return up to 3 cards that your opponent controls back to the hand. That is really good to be able to bounce. That's a game-ending effect, to be able to just bounce 3 and help you go in for game. That's so good to be able to bounce 3 cards. For its second effect, that if this XZ7 card is sent to the graveyard, you can discard a card and then discard 1 card to the graveyard and then special summon 3 level 3 or lower fish, sea summon, or aqua monsters from your hand or grave, just rewarding back so many monsters to your side of the field. That's a really good effect to be able to bring back 3 of your basically your tri-type to your side of the field between your fish, sea serpent, and aqua monsters, because the majority of the Mermail and Atlantean cards are level 3 or lower. So it's very easy to just swarm the board with a bunch of different Atlantean and Mermails so that you can go in for game. That's a really good effect overall, because you can just immediately, if this XZ7 card is sent to the grave, discard a card, and then you special summon all 3. You can even link it away, because it doesn't even matter how it goes to the graveyard. It just says if this XZ7 card is sent to the graveyard, which is a really good effect. I love that about this card. This is really good. So basically what you do is you just use that as a bounce off of this by detaching 2 materials, and then you send a water monster in your deck to the grave, bounce 3, link it away, go in for the discard, and then special summon 3 back to your side of the field and just go in for game. That's such a good effect to be able to use to help you swarm the board. This card is amazing. I really like this card overall for the archetype, and it's a great boss monster. So for the next card, we actually have a new Link monster, which is actually based on the Nept Prince, or Neptibus. This card is really cool. Neptibus, the Royal Mermail. This card has a really cool ability that it's actually all 3 downwards arrows. That's really neat that it's all 3 down arrows for this card's effect. This card has the ability it takes 2+ monsters, including a fish, sea serpent, or aqua, basically your tri-type, and has the ability that you only use this card's second and third effects name once per turn each. Your opponent cannot target water monsters you control that this card points to with card effects. That's a pretty good effect. It comes out with 2400 attack, by the way, and this card also has the ability for its second effect that if a water monster is sent to the graveyard to activate a card effect, you can take an Abyss equipped spell card from your deck or graveyard and either add it to your hand or equip it to this card, which we do have a equipped spell for the next card, which we're going to get into in just a second. So this card's other effect is for its third effect that if this card is destroyed by an opponent, you can actually add an Atlantean or Mermail monster from your deck to your hand, which is going to give you a search, but it does replace itself, which is pretty nice. But this card reminds me a lot of Megalo, because it does get you to that, basically, your Abyss equip spell, which is kind of neat about this card's effect. Overall, great card. I don't feel like it's that great because it doesn't negate or anything like that, but it does basically give you the ability to get to that Abyss equip spell, which might change once we read this next card. But the nice thing is you can use Coral Anemone to step into this card, because you basically just put any 2 monsters on your side of the field, bring back a monster with Coral Anemone, and then climb into this card, which is going to be pretty helpful to be able to do because your Coral Anemone is water, so you can climb into this card, then use Coral Anemone to recover a card if you need to, which is going to help out a little bit if you want to, but it's just overall pretty good. I like this card for the deck, and it is helpful for this particular build, but you do have to use a fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster to step into this card. So for the last support card that we've actually got, we have Abyss Sting, which is actually the Trident. I really like that they're actually using the Trident in its equip spell. That's really nice. This card actually has 3 effects, and they're actually pretty good. This card lets you special summon an Atlantean or Mermail monster from your hand or grave, and if you do, equip it with this card, basically being a premature burial, which is going to basically give you an additional material that you used for this card back to your side of the field. And also for its second effect, if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, send this card to the grave instead. And you can also banish this card from your grave and then target up to 3 fish, sea serpent, or aqua monsters in your grave or banishment and shuffle them back in the deck, helping you basically recycle your resources. Overall, pretty good. It's basically just a monstery board, which is kind of neat. We do have a spell negate that we can search as well off this card's effect, because we do have an armor that's actually spell negate that you usually search off of Megalo, which is probably what you're going to search off this card normally. Or if you're later in the game, you can search out your copy of Sting, Abyss Sting, which is going to be pretty cool to be able to search out the Trident. But overall, pretty good support. I feel like this is the best one because it's just such a powerful boss monster. It's so easy to put level 7s on the board with this deck, with your Abystius and your other cards like that. Like, it's just it's so easy to put cards like Megalo, Abystius, and your other level 7s on the board to be able to summon out your Gyos and then summon out this and get a bounce 3 and then link it away and then summon out like 3 to your side of the field. This is actually really good. This card is easily the best card. I'm surprised they didn't do it as a structure deck reloaded or a structure deck R, but getting the support like this is totally fine. because at least we're getting a Mermail Atlantean support. Mermail Atlantean is just such a fun deck to be able to play, and it's just really cool that we're actually like combining the two archetypes together, because the card that should be an Atlantean is an Atlantean by, not by name, but a Mermail by name, and an Atlantean by its card effect, and then your copy of the card that should be a Mermail is actually a Mermail by effect, and then an Atlantean by name, which is kind of neat. I really like that about these cards, and it's really neat overall. I feel like the artwork is just absolutely amazing for these cards, and I feel like this card is going to help you out a lot, because there's a lot of interesting targets that are level 7 fish, sea serpent, or aqua monsters that you can summon out with this card's effect, but it does specifically have to be a level 7 for this card's effect. But I feel like there's a lot of cards you can actually use with this card's ability, but that's pretty neat for this card's effect. But I feel like easily, again, this is probably the best of all of the cards to help you just basically get another boss monster out on your side of the field and give you that balance 3. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Definitely comment down below what your favorite aqua, sea serpent, or fish monster is down in the comments down below. I really enjoy this new support, and I'm looking forward to playing Atlantean Mermail, especially with all these new support cards. And it really seems like a lot of fun. Hopefully we get more support in the future, but I feel like this is a great step in the right direction for the deck, and it's really cool support, especially having a new boss monster. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.